We still continue for two more presentations before we have a break. I would like to start the next presentation. The title is Pattern Recognition of Scrap Plastic Misclassification in Global Trade Data, written by Muhammad Sukri bin Ramli. Mr. Sukri served as superintendent at Royal Malaysian Customs Department with over 8 years of experiencing in tax auditing, compliance, and import-export control. Mr. Sukri has graduated with MBA from AC School of Business in collaboration with MIT Sloan, and his interests focus on how AI can transform tax compliance processes. And now, let us invite Mr. Sukri to share his presentation with us. Screen is yours, Mr. Sukri.
Yeah, hello everyone.
Yeah,
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Muhammad Sukri bin Ramli from the Royal Malaysian Customs Department. Thank you, Mr. Moderator, Mr. Iswandi. It is a pleasure to be here at the 5th WCO RTC Indonesia International Conference 2025. For the committee, can I request for you to open my slide?
Mas Arif, are you copy?
Yes, sir. Wait.
Okay, today I'm very excited to present our study on a critical issue, pattern recognitions of scrap plastic misclassification in global trade data. The story begins with my daily commute to work. I live in Port Klang, one of the busiest ports in the world. Every morning, I pass through cloud of smokes and that smells like plastic burning. It is very annoying to me. At the same time, it gives me concerns over the health of the people. The motivation for this research is personal to me as I angry over the smoke and the burning. Next slide. Here, what we will cover today, we will start with the problem statement on why plastic waste is an issue. Then I will walk you through our detection methods, which is the core of our research. After that, we will look at the results of our analysis finding. And to finish, we will discuss the policy implication from this. Next slide. To begin, let's start with the definition. Pattern is what we can observe, repeatable and predictable. The topic pattern recognition refers to our capabilities to observe the pattern from a data. The data that we are talking about today is HS Harmonized System 39, plastic and article thereof, specifically HS 39.15, which refer to scrap of plastic. We observe the pattern from UN Comtrade data from year 2020 until year 2024. So what is the core problem? Even with the strict international rules and import bans meant to stop contaminated plastic waste, still large amount of illicit scrap are still getting into the countries. The situation shows that there is a gap, highlighting a need for more effective screening system and detections at the point of entry. Since 2018, under China National Sword Policy, China stops being the world recycling ground. They restrict the recycled material importation and the plastic waste now scrambling around the world to find grounds. Finally, they enter illicitly into the global south country. So we listen to the news, there is a viral story emerge, such as plastic waste being used as cheap toxic fuel for making tofu. Another story also, a very large dump site where plastic was open air burning, releasing harmful fumes. It wasn't until around 2025, the Southeast Asian nations like Thailand, Malaysia, and Indonesia finally put a serious total ban on plastic scrap imports to stop the problem. Next slide. In this research, we use data from United Nations Comtrade Open Database that has a statistical data of import and export up to 200 countries. We focus on HS39 from year 2020 to year 2024. On top of the database, we run a statistical machine learning model of k-mean clustering and random forest model to identify pattern. We call this the pattern the inverse volume price signature. The pattern is simple, but it's very powerful. It is a suspicious trend where the reported volume of product goes up, while at the same time, the declared unit price goes down. You can see right here in the graph, the blue line, the volume is rising, while the red line, the price is falling. This is our red flag. We use this to pinpoint a specific HS code that are behaving suspiciously on global trade data. The skill is transferable with the capacity building among custom member to have those replicability testing on national importation data. Next slide. Here is the causal loop diagram that I propose. The causal loop diagram here illustrates the cat and mouse dynamic at play. The center of the loop is the trade data. For example, UN trade data, our own national importation data, in which bad actor and authorities interact with. On the left side, the reinforcing loop R1, which is the bad actor misclassify waste on each importation, which poison the trade data over the time. But here's the interesting part. The more they commit this fraud, the clearer their illicit pattern becomes. This actually helped us. It triggered the B1 balancing loop on the right. This clearer fingerprint allow authorities to get a better detection and enforcement on specific HS code and importer. For the time being, the pattern remain unseen until national authorities with the right skill set able to uncover their unique national pattern. Next slide. And here's the finding from the reports. The fingerprint lookalikes. We identify 6 high-risk HS code. A forecast method has been applied to the trends of importation, and the chart shows that exact inverse signature for several high-risk HS code. In each case, the solid red line, the price is trending down, and while the dash blue, the volume is trending up. This is exactly we are looking for data signature. Next slide. Then we took a step further. We didn't just want to find which code were at risk. We wanted to know what kind of product they were. So we used the k-mean clustering method to segment the entire plastic market, HS39. This gave us 4 clear groups. Number 1 is high volume commodities with yellow dots. Second is emerging commodities with the blue dots. Third is stable mid-market with the purple dots. And lastly, high-priced niche product with the green dots. From our analysis, we revealed that 100% of at-risk HS code concentrated exclusively within those two groups, the high-volume commodity and emerging commodity segment. This confirmed the high-risk HS code highly concentrated and predictable. Next slide. So this brings us to the why. What are the motivations of the bad actor? Why are they doing this? The motivation is twofold. First, to evade the national regulations. And second is to commit tax fraud. The graph here that I show in the screen is the rates of import duty and tax related to the HS code 339, in which on the right side, HS 39.15 is the true HS code for plastic waste in Malaysia, that under high regulation and highest tax duty for importation among all the plastic material. Meanwhile, other HS codes related to plastic materials is varies accordingly, depends on the status, whether it's raw material or finished product. This chart makes it very clear. It shows that the average import duty and sales tax rate for different plastic codes. Now, when we look at the bar with the cross-hatch pattern, those are the codes that our model flag. Notice where they are the spread between a very high tax duty code and at a very low tax duty code. The fraud is clear. By misclassifying the waste plastic, label it as a prime virgin resin, the bad actor avoid massive tax duty and regulation entirely. Next slide. Just a quick recap for the technical side. Our model is built on key feature we pull from the trade data. We are mainly looking at the volume analytics, price analysis, and the risk signature that we talked about. This include things like average volume, average price, volatility, and of course, those rising and falling trends. Next slide. Next slide, please. Okay. So what are the final results? So the final result is incredibly clear and actionable. We use explainable AI techniques such as sharp analysis, which essentially let us to look inside the model brains and to see why it making its decisions. It confirms our hypothesis perfectly. The absolute key driver for alert are price drop, volatile pricing, and rising volume. This proves that the inverse price volume fingerprint is exactly the right signal to be tracking. And the model that we built to detect this segment is highly effective. The random forest classifier achieved 93.75% accuracy on the test data. Next slide. So what we do with this information from the research? From this information, the research points at three clear policy recommendations. Number one is to strengthen the international treaties. We recommend that the International Plastic Treaty explicitly lists the high-risk HS code that we identify to be under annex categories that require prior informed consent, PIC. Second, we recommend that every nationals can implement risk-based watch lists with further scrutiny for high-risk HS code that identified for plastic waste operation in national level. And third, we promote data sharing. We encourage for adoption of cross-border data sharing on plastic waste operation findings, because every country might have their own specific HS code that on the high risk based on their own national data. Okay, next slide. In conclusion, so just to wrap up, we all know that the sheer amount of volume of shipping container make 100% physical inspection impossible. Our work here offer a practical solution for this problem. This data-driven approach led us to make a critical shift to selective risk-based enforcement. Our system turns confusing trade patterns into clear, transparent watch lists. This will empower us as authorities to prioritize our inspection and use our limited resources effectively by focusing only on the high-risk shipment. By turning data into intelligence, we can close this gap and build a smarter, more effective defense against waste trafficking. That's all from me. I give back the floor to the moderator. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for outstanding presentation, Mr. Sukri. And I think the floor are welcome to raise any question, feedback, or comments. While waiting, Mr. Sukri, I'm really interested in your paper presentation. I already read a couple highlights from your paper or yesterday. And I think the methodology that you obtain in this research is you use the data from UN Comtrade, right? 2020 2020 until 2024, I guess.
Yes.
And my question before other participant maybe raise or discuss this very valuable topic or insight, do you have any case study in terms of Malaysian customs? I mean, when the data in national or domestic Malaysian, such as the cargo or incoming uh, container or probably coming into either the seaport or bonded area in Malaysia, and then you find those companies they misclassify should be scrap plastics, but they clarify as other plastic products. Do you have any case studies or experience within
Uh,
Malaysia in this
Thank
case? Yeah.
you so
Mm.
much, Mr. Moderator, for
Yeah.
the very good questions.
Mm.
So, uh, as I mentioned earlier on my presentation, this project is my personal interest in which I am very angry because every day I go to work and I smell very plastic on the air and feels bad. And I want the main push for me to write this paper is to promote the tax authorities or custom authorities to use data to make use of data to enable them to find the exact importer that are bringing in those scrap plastic into the countries. Uh, because this is my personal project, I couldn't classify. I use the classified data from my country data. So I just prefer on this project to use the data, open data that we have from UN Comtrade. And inside this paper, I promote every nationalities if they have the capacity building and capabilities on data analytics for them to test their own data, focusing on the plastic waste problem that they have in their country, for them to have their own HS code that they are selected from the training, machine learning training that they have done, and to identify and to stop the problem itself. So this paper is like promoting the capabilities for the nations to build up their capacity for them to go and seek the bad actor.
All right. Thank you. It okay, anyone on the floor, participants or the guests, would you like to raise any question or feedback? Or I may raise another question to Mr. Sukri. In your presentation, in the middle of your presentation, you mentioned that in terms of this classification, you uh, stated like 6 Hs that could be fraudulent or could be triggering as a false or misclassification. What is the process that you use to kind of tunneling into 6 Hs code that triggering that this is gonna be the false one? Do you get the
Yeah,
point, Mr. Sukri?
yes,
Yeah.
thank
Yeah.
you so much, Mr.
Sure.
Moderator.
Mm.
So if I could reiterate my findings, the pattern is very simple. As I mentioned before, because we are handling a very lot of data from UN Comtrade data, in which I analyze almost up to 200 countries that are reporting the HS code 39 inside the UN Comtrade data. But I use the machine learning technique in which it enable for me to process all of those data. So from the finding, we can simplify it onto inverse volume price signature, in which when the price of the material or price of the reported plastic, for example, virgin resin is going down, but the volume is going up. So, the plastic, virgin plastic is a very needed commodity for manufacturer to process into finished products. So the commodity price should be stable or become increased year by year. But from this finding, we found out the commodity price is actually going down, and we use this to become our indicator why the commodity price of prime virgin resin going down, meanwhile the demand is increasing. There must be something wrong. So from this technique, we
Okay.
classify this specifically HS code. This 6 HS code is a high risk HS code because we
In
didn't include all other HS code within code HS39. Only those selected 6 HS code that are high risk and having those behavior.
okay. Thank you very much. I think that's clearer. There is one question from the participants, also the presenter, Pak Wisnu. Really interesting presentation. I would like to ask, how do you ensure that the inverse volume price signature is not just a correlation artifact caused by market volatility rather than intentional misclassification? And what steps did you take to make your machine learning model interpretable? Hope you got the point, Mr. Sukri.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For the question, I would like to answer the last question. I mean, how do you make your machine learning model interpretable? So inside my research paper, I have listed the reason why my machine learning model is interpretable, because I am using the SHAP analysis. The SHAP analysis that I discussed is on the third last slides, in which the SHAP analysis has identified the price drops, volatile pricing, and rising volume are the key driver for the alerts of plastic waste misclassification detections. So the SHAP analysis is a technique within the machine learning that we use to declare which indicator that we selected among all the indicator that we have here. Okay. And also to answer the question, how I ensure the inverse volume price signature is just not a correlation. Yes, I believe this is a very good question, because the selected HS code that I have listed on my research that we find, I just stated it as a high risk HS code that the authorities can go and see. When the container comes with those high risk HS code, the authorities, custom authorities, can be more alert or vigilant on those container that come, instead of they have no idea or no other intelligence that tell them which is the most high risk container for them to check. Okay, I hope that's answer. And also the
yeah,
market volatility. To discuss a bit about the market volatility, we see that during 2018, during the China closing their doors for importations of scrap materials getting into their countries, and they don't want to become the global recycler anymore, then we see the surge of price goes down, especially price of virgin material, plastic, where trending go down, in which it reflects that they might be, we suspect, misclassifications, in which the bad actor has misclassified the prime virgin resin by inserting inside the scrap plastic at a very lower price, in which it changed the price of resin from high to low, and it shows on the global trade data. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much for your great presentation, Mr. Sukri. I think this is a time for your presentation, and what I can conclude, it's very important for us, Indonesia Custom also, specifically for enforcement team, because you can use this kind of methodology to grab any law enforcement that could put in place, and also for audit posts. I think it could be also beneficial for them. Thank you, Mr. Sukri.
Thank you.
Once again, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now